Hello and welcome to Richardson RFPD Tech Chat. I'm Peter Dietrich, Senior Technical Specialist for Richardson RFPD. Here today talking to Guy Moxey, Wolfspeed Senior Director of Marketing. Thanks for joining us, Guy.
My pleasure, Peter. Thank you.
So, in the power semiconductor industry, we are seeing rapidly increasing popularity for wide bandgap technologies like silicon carbide. We are frequently asked about the reliability of this device compared to silicon. So, I have few questions relatively to this topic. Do you see qualification test as the same as reliability testing? And does silicon carbide have the same qualification standards and reliability as silicon?
Yeah, perfect question. If we were having this conversation 8 years ago, Peter, people would be asking, what is silicon carbide? Conversation 4 years ago, I get it. How do I use it? The conversation now is, I'm using it. How reliable is it? So in reality, it's very similar to silicon. We've approached it in the same ways. Qualification is not reliability. Qualification is that extrinsic part, that early part of the bathtub curve where we follow the same JEDEC and AEC standards as the silicon industry has done for a very long time. Then obviously long-term reliability is that, the flat end of that bathtub curve where parts are in the field for many years with an incredibly low fit rate. And then finally, the long-term life is, if I've put these in my electronic bus, is it going to last 15 years? So this is where we have to do extensive studies on the wear out mechanisms, because at the end of the day, Peter, everything does have a finite lifespan. So, we follow the same qualifications as the rest of the industry with JEDEC and automotive, depends on which one we approach. And then when we look at this big area where the products are in the field, this is where Wolfspeed has a great advantage, because right now we're clocking well over 6 trillion hours of product out there. We've been in this business the longest. We've had the most product. So we have the most field hours compared to anybody else. And then when we look at our failure in time rates, of course, when you look at them, we are well below 10 parts per billion. And if you look at silicon in automotive, which is the most rigorous area, their fit rate targets are 10 or below. And you can see we are much lower on aggregate than 10.
That sounds great. Okay, finally, what is your perspective on the long-term reliability of silicon carbide?
Yeah, well, this is the one that's that we have to do a lot of theory around, because we haven't ran parts for 60, 70 years. So this is where we do a lot of accelerated life testing. We can see our fit rate is tremendous, but how long do those devices really last? Is it 20 years, 30 years compared to the lifespan of a bus or a plane or a power supply? So here we use a lot of statistical data, again, adopted from the silicon world. This is nothing that new, where we push a wide spectrum of parts to absolute destruction, and then extrapolate back. We look at voltage breakdown, gate breakdown, body diode reliability. You throw on altitude effects, terrestrial neutrons, and you add all those together, and you can get a predictive wear out estimate. And this just shows our latest 650 volt product. And if you look at it really, look at that fit rate of 10 or below, we are estimating 1,000 years plus of long-term reliability.
Thank you for that summary, Guy. As a follow-up, we have seen that Wolfspeed silicon carbide has industrial leading qualification standards for both industrial and automotive, and more than 6 trillion field hours. But what is Wolfspeed's perspective on the long-term silicon carbide wear-out failures, as at the same time we know any semiconductor will fail?
Yeah, exactly. And that is the intrinsic area. This is how long do these things last? And of course, where do they fail? A lot of packaging related issues, of course, because these are semiconductors. But as my previous slide showed, our predictive models show thousands of years of usage. So, you know, Peter, you and I won't be around in that sort of length of time, but Wolfspeed silicon carbide will.
Guys, thank you for helping us to understand how Wolfspeed highlights the importance of reliability testing and how this translates into field reliability. We
My
appreciate your time today and thank you all for watching our Tech Chat video. You can learn more about this and other topics on Richardson RFPD GaN and SiC Tech Hub. Follow our Ask an Expert link to submit your question related to design challenges you may have.